To the US Vice President. He is in Hungary. JD Vance travelling to Hungary. The visit a show of support by the Trump administration for the long-standing Prime Minister Victor Orbán ahead of key parliamentary elections this Sunday. Victor Orbán is a fellow right-wing nationalist, has been President Trump's most loyal ally in Europe. He's also close to Russia's Vladimir Putin. Most opinion polls, though, suggest his party will lose. Well, let's speak to Catherine Belton, reporter for the Washington Post and author of Putin's People. And Catherine, welcome here to the programme. Just explain to people watching, why is JD Vance there in Hungary standing next to Victor Orbán? Explain that.
Well, it's a question you might well ask, why he's there in the middle of this terrible war raging in Iran. But actually, he's there because Orbán, over the last decade, has become really an important symbol and model for the Trump-aligned Maga movement. He is seen as like the leading example of a nationalist conservative leader in Europe. He is someone that the Maga movement have sought to emulate. As one kind of close associate of Steve Bannon told me, he said Victor Orbán was Trump before Trump. He's somebody who led the drive against migrants. He led the drive against LGBT in Europe. And now he's in trouble because while he's been overseeing this nationalist populist movement, his economy hasn't been doing very well at all. And his opponent, Péter Magyar, is accusing him of corruption, and it's resonating across Hungary.
I'll come to some of those domestic issues in a moment, but in terms of all those other capitals watching, it is incredibly important for Brussels, isn't it, how this goes, given how Orbán has been just interfering, blocking help to Ukraine, various policies that the EU want to focus on, that he of course, is the outlier, and of course, consistently an ally of Vladimir Putin, and echoing so many of his talking points.
Yes, he's been a long time a big thorn in the side of the EU, and most critically right now over the 90 billion euro loan that the EU wants to give to Ukraine, which is absolutely critical in enabling Ukraine to continue to defend itself against Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine. Like, Orbán had initially given his backing for that loan, but all of a sudden at the beginning of this year, he revoked it. And really, he's been sort of playing nice with Vladimir Putin all the way. We saw transcripts of some of his foreign ministers' conversations with his counterpart in Russia, Sergei Lavrov. They were published last week, and they've had this relationship where really it's claimed that the Hungarian foreign minister is on the phone to Sergei Lavrov during EU meetings, discussing and coordinating responses at sensitive EU meetings. And really, I think the Europeans have rightly been shocked at Orbán's behaviour.
So give me your judgment. If he wins or if he loses, the significance of either or both?
Well, as some have said, that it would be kind of cataclysmic for the Trump-aligned movement in Europe, which is actually struggling quite a lot now, ever since Trump first decided to lay claim to Greenland. That really started turning off a lot of the far-right nationalist leaders in Europe, and that has obviously been exacerbated by this war in Iran. And, it's far from clear whether Vance turning up and stumping for Orbán is actually going to help his campaign, particularly now when, Trump is making such threats against Iran, and it's having huge repercussions on energy prices across Europe. So it's really a test for, can this sort of Trump-aligned movement in Europe actually survive? And if Orbán goes, then it could be the beginning of the end for that movement.